everybody. Welcome. Sorry that we were a few minutes late. I was bathing, so you're welcome. Welcome to this episode of The Basement. I'm always joined by my co-host Trevor. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Yes, got to make sure that Mara doesn't stink or anything for everybody at home with smell-o-vision. So.
Thank you so much. Discussing my body odor is how I want to start every new episode. I'd also like to thank the specters and the witches, goblins, ghouls, ghosts, any other paranormal sort of creatures. I'd like to think there are werewolves watching, but I don't know if we've gotten that big yet. The vampires, it's going to be years before we really get them on board, but they're the ones I want most.
Hey, I all I want to do is be featured on the background of what we do in the shadows.
That'd be awesome. We were doing a watch along, recording our commentary for the Patreon for Dan, and it was Twilight Saga Eclipse. And he happened to notice that the Volturi with Dakota Fanning and them, that they look a lot like they should be in What We Do in the Shadows with their costuming and stuff.
Yeah, I can see it.
So we have quite a show, Halloween themed this evening. I know we look quite normal right now, except for my Woodsboro Horror Hotline shirt, which is actually a really awesome shirt. But we have a series of goals related to our Halloween things. Do you want to go over what those are for everyone, Trevor?
What I remember, yes. So at
whatever you pick is what we're going with. So,
so we're doing, I believe at $20, we're doing costumes. I believe the cats have costumes.
The cats have costumes as well, yes. And Trevor and I each have costumes.
We each have costumes, so then what else are we doing? There's a lot of pressure. $40. At $40, we will do a what do I pick? Let's go with a horror movie bracket of 16 movies, completely ripping off Jacob London and Taylor Robinson.
Yes.
And then at $60, because Last Night in Soho came out, we are going to be doing an Edgar Wright letterboxd game where I've actually changed the rules since I last talked to you, Mara. So what we're going to do is I will give you 3 reviews for each movie, and then you have to order them by most positive to least positive as far as the rating they gave.
Ooh, I like that.
And then finally, and Dan, if Dan wants to, can hop on for this at $80. Not finally, because there's something after this. At $80, we are going to do a Halloween letterboxd game where for each of the 12 Halloween movies, I have pulled a letterboxd review. So I'll read out the 12 reviews, and then Mara and then Dan, if you would like to, and you can also, I don't know, I guess Dan can be here for all of it, I guess.
He'll pop in and out, definitely.
You have to match the review to the Halloween movie it is about. And then at $100, if we hit it, we will do a watch along of Final Destination. Which
Did we forget the Faux Nuts?
We did forget the Faux Nuts. Where do you want to place the Faux Nuts?
Well, let's see. We have increments of 20 currently. Is that right?
Yeah, we got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
How about why don't we just make that a $10 goal? Let's start out real small, easy, ease our way into it.
All right.
By the way, if we do reach our $100 watch along goal, I was thinking, I'd love to hear from everyone in the chat, especially if you're going to be joining us. I was thinking of watching Final Destination 2, which is currently on HBO Max, or some people might have it. Like, we have the Final Destination collection. It's on there. It's also really cheap. If you ever see it, like, you should just grab it. But it's a fun movie. It's not super scary. So if you're not into horror, it's fine. I mean, death really is the real bad guy in real life, isn't it? So I feel like it's very applicable. But yeah, so I'd love to hear from people. That was just kind of what I was thinking. It's not super long. It's very fun. It's my favorite, I think, of the Final Destination franchise. So let me hear from you if you veto that in favor of something else. Really, it's it's your watch along. Technically, we're just here for it.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure everyone's happy.
Yeah. So if you have any other horror movie suggestions, you can also throw those into the donations as we make our way towards.
By the way, we've actually
What?
already reached our first goal. Copying
Let's
it over for you
see.
right now.
First two goals.
Yes. Oh, yes. Technically, our first two.
Yes, $20 from Kenaput saying woohoo costume party. All right. So should we briefly talk about French Dispatch and Last Night in Soho before we get Faux Nuts and costumes?
Yes, I think that's fair. We can do that.
All right. Do you want to kick off with Last Night in Soho?
Yes. By the way, we're going to keep this completely spoiler free because these are new movies. Not a lot of people have seen them. Like, for example, I actually haven't seen French Dispatch yet, and he hasn't seen Last Night in Soho yet. So we're both going to kind of share individually. But I was very much looking forward to this movie. If anyone has watched shameless plug, Dan's review of Last Night in Soho, I had very similar thoughts. I found it to be, some of it is just so visually interesting. There's lots of really good in-camera work and really well blended edits in the movie that make it, there's a specific sequence that's just really breathtaking to behold. It's a master class in how to be moving your characters, moving your camera, and seamlessly weave in these really complex choreographed changes. It's just great. It was nice to hear him use different needle drops, like period appropriate ones. So I really enjoyed that. I did think it lingered a bit in its second act. It kind of, in horror movies, there's like a different type of scare here, a different type of scare there. You mix it up. I felt like we were kind of just treading water for a little while. And I think that more time could have been spent doing something else if it was going to have that long of a runtime. But, and I feel like as a person who watches a lot of movies, you kind of see some things coming early, and that's not a bad thing. I don't mind that I'm not surprised by something, but I felt like some of it didn't pay off exactly as well as it could have. I think it had excellent potential. It didn't quite live up to it, but it was still incredibly good, especially for a first foray into like, I'm going to do a more serious, grounded horror movie instead of kind of like funny haha horror movie. So, and Dan actually came up with the best analogy. I'm going to steal it because this is my show and he's not here. He equated it to when Quentin Tarantino did his Grindhouse thing, where it wasn't great, but it was good. And it was kind of a love letter to movies of that era. And then right after that, he went into like his amazing renaissance of some of the best movies he's ever made. So if this is a segue into Edgar Wright coming into the best movies that he'll ever make, then that's awesome. So I would say certainly worth seeing. If the trailer interested you, I think you'll be interested enough in the movie. And I mean, it's Edgar Wright. If you like him as a filmmaker, I think you'll at least find it interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. But I want to hear what you thought of French Dispatch because you've been aching, I think is the right word, to see it.
Yeah. Also, wasn't, just side note back to what you were saying, didn't Edgar Wright direct one of the trailers for Grindhouse?
That sounds right. Dan would know that much better than I would.
I'm pretty sure Edgar Wright, because I know Eli Roth did one. I know Robert Rodriguez did one. I'm pretty sure Edgar Wright did one of them too.
I trust you.
All right. French Dispatch. So this has been my most anticipated movie of the year. Wes Anderson is my personal favorite filmmaker of all time. And I really, really like this movie. It is probably the most Wes Anderson movie he's ever made. It's just like, which, I mean, some people would see that as self-indulgent, and like I wouldn't completely disagree with that. It's absolutely style over substance. But once again, like this was made for Wes Anderson fans. Like I think that if you're not a Wes Anderson fan, like you can still find enjoyment out of it. But this was absolutely made for Wes Anderson fans, which luckily I am. So I found a lot of enjoyment out of the film. I thought the anthology format worked really well, especially the second story, Revisions to a Manifesto, which is the Timothy Chalamet, Frances McDormand one. That one was a really, really well done. And like all three of them, I would love to see them as full films. But I think it gives you just enough. There are some like really, really fun artistic choices and visual choices that I won't. It feels weird seeing like spoilers about a visual or artistic choice, but I feel like with Wes Anderson, it kind of is like one very specific one that's like crazy and a lot of fun. But each one kind of feels like the movie is shot and like directed to the writer who's telling the story style. Um, so you have like the Jeffrey Wright who's a writer, then the Francis McDormand character who's a writer, like and then blanking on the first one. I still have lots of thoughts rolling in my head about this movie. Got out of the theater maybe 3 hours ago. But just overall, I had a lot. It was just a lot of fun with this movie. Is it great? No. The third story in the anthology is probably the weakest. Like it's the only one that doesn't really say anything. It's kind of muddled and messy. Like it has some problems, and that one is it's very overboard with the style over substance. Like there's so many unnecessary shots. But I this movie was made for me. Like I had so much fun with it. I can acknowledge the criticisms, and I get where they're coming from. And I think they're all perfectly valid. But like I probably end up at like a 9 out of 10 with this. It's just Wes Anderson can't make a bad movie for me. Like I just like just the visual style alone will always work for me as far as Wes Anderson. It always will. I don't know why. It just completely works for me. So I really like this movie. Again, you'll probably only love it as much as I did if you are a fan of Wes Anderson. Just because of how much of a Wes Anderson movie it is. But I honestly think that anybody could find enjoyment. Like I haven't seen anybody who's like outright hated it. I don't think. Like there have been plenty of people who are like, yeah, it's fine. I've seen lots of fine to good to great. Like the Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and Metacritic are all a pretty solid like 7.5 out of 10. Like it's all like right in that range. Which is I think it's perfectly fine. It definitely isn't Wes Anderson's best. But like it but also definitely isn't his worst. Like it's pretty solid mid-tier Wes Anderson. Which is just pretty high up there for me since like no Wes Anderson movie for me is below an 8. So I really, really liked it. I don't know if anybody else will that's not a Wes Anderson lover, but I really, really enjoyed it. And Wes Anderson is my religion.
Oh my. Well, on that note, why don't I describe what a faux nut is? Because I think that
Go ahead.
I'm staring at it and I just keep looking at it.
Yeah.
So a faux nut, that would be FAUX nut, as in faux, fake. So it's a shortbread biscuit / cookie, depending on where you're from, and it has a hole punched out of the middle, so it's shaped like a donut, and it has royal icing on the top and little sprinkles with Halloween colors to look like a donut, but clearly it's not a donut, it's a faux nut. And this is what it looks like.
And it looks delicious.
It's so cute. Yeah, and it's so impossibly tender. Here, hold on.
Oh, here, everybody, she's going to make you want to eat.
So soft and so pillowy. Look at that crumb structure. It's a lovely crumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Yum.
Well,
I mean, I'm just looking at my fingers. I didn't actually eat any yet.
We did get a another donation from Movie Shinobi. Thank you so much. Also, thank you, Ken, but I can't remember if I said thank you. But thank you. And thank you, Movie Shinobi, for $5, saying Happy Halloween. At first, I read that as a Hubie Halloween. Why? I don't know. I guess I was feeling sad. Um, but yeah. Should we get into Halloween costumes?
I think we should, yes. Do we first want to welcome on Dan so that way he can say hello to everybody?
Yes.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, everybody.
You must have snuck in that room because I did not see or hear you.
I'm very sneaky.
Neither did I. It's crazy.
Yeah, I crept in here very quietly. I slunk. I slunk in.
Dan, do you have a costume or are you just going to be Dan?
I don't have a costume, no, sadly. I'm just going to be myself. I hope
Oh,
that's
you
enough.
didn't even have an overshirt on today. That's weird. You should go get one.
Don't. I have my dungeon one over here. I could put that on.
Yeah,
I want to
that
show off
sounds
my
like fun.
Friday the 13th, you know? 'Tis the season.
Tomorrow is the best day of the year, everybody. I don't know if you knew that.
It is.
Okay,
I'm still trying to get Dan on board for Halloween Wedding, which is where we get married on Halloween.
Nice.
Working on it.
It accepts all life advice from me. As an incredibly knowledgeable 16-year-old, you know, I know everything about life. So just
that's how it goes. It's all downhill from
here. Well, should we drop out?
Yeah, Dan, I was wondering if you might want to vamp for maybe a minute and a half while Trevor and I get into costume, and then after that I might have you wrangle some cats because they have to get in their costumes.
Oh, that's true. That's going to be the real fun.
Yes, I figure a meaty stick will do. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take us out, but I'm going to leave our I'm not going to mute ourselves so that way we can interact with Dan whenever he does whatever he does.
I see. I did not bring any prepared material. You know what I've been playing a lot lately? It's Disney Heroes game on my phone in my downtime. It's a lot of fun. You get a bunch of different heroes. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's Disney Heroes, and you get to do little battles with them. You know, you can kind of like pick your lineup. It's just kind of a nice little mindless thing that you can do. Here, let me provide you with an example. I can show you a typical showdown here. I definitely want to win. Well, this is going to look really easy because it's on automatic fighting right now. So it's going to look way easier than it is. So, you know, you get your little set of heroes here. Right now I'm fighting with Baymax, Bolt, Zeus, Genie, and Maleficent. Now, this is an easy level, which is why they're just running through all of the people. So, you know, they're not all that easy. They're not all that easy. So, Garth, I remember reading your question today on the AMA. I don't know if you were there for the whole time, but I did get to it. I remember. So I think it was right up near the top. So you might have missed it right up at the beginning over on Patreon. Ken says he knows 2 couples that had Halloween weddings. So, you know, we wouldn't be the first to do it. So anyway, Disney Heroes, I've been doing a lot. And then I'm getting back into Simpsons Tapped Out, which is where you build your own little Springfield. It's basically Farmville, but for the Simpsons, which is fun. Right now it's Halloween themed, so they have all these dinosaurs that are wandering around Springfield. So it's a little cluttered at the moment. And honestly, my Springfield is a little haphazard because I just relaunched the town. So this is my town. That's the Simpsons house right there, and then the little docks there, and oh no,
oh no!
Look at this. Are you both fashion icons?
Yeah, we are.
Yes, absolutely.
I like it. I was just telling them about Simpsons Tapped Out.
I heard. I was surprised you didn't want to tell them about us being obsessed with Cup Game right now.
Oh yeah, well, you know.
When do we get our Dan Gaming channel? Like, that's.
I don't know. That's a good question. Should I start one? I mean, it's all mobile games, so.
Hey, I'd be here for it. You could. I'm sure there's a way that you could do it.
Yeah. Well, here I feel like I have to put it on my my dungeon hoodie now so that we can all match.
I know we're in traditional Dan garb, and Dan's not in anything.
This is actually technically his shirt. He just has two of them. One of them is mine and one of them is his.
She found me a duplicate because I bought that shirt at a Buffalo Exchange in like 2005, and I loved it, but it was like literally threadbare. And so she found me, because she's a wizard, she found me a replacement. Okay, here we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dan.
Look at this group of people.
I love it.
I should have seen if I could have gotten a bunch of dungeon people to just send in little selfies of them in Dan
Of them
Merle
as me.
cosplay.
I mean, to be fair, I am the easiest costume to do, really. I mean, just totally the easiest costume in the world to do. So if you're looking for a cheap Halloween costume that like 0.2% of the population will understand, I'm granting permission here on the basement exclusive. I'm licensing my likeness for Halloween costumes
For free.
No, you have to pay me $5.
Oh, you have to pay. Oh, wow. Yeah. I will just a second. Let me get a PayPal.
But not you.
Oh,
This
not
is
me.
Like you get a free promotional offer. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Hey, Jacob London wants to join in. Said I should do that. Let's do
Jacob,
it.
if you have the costume stuff, text me, and if you're ready, I'll bring you on.
Just get a council of Dans, like the Council of Ricks from Rick and
Yes!
Morty.
Nice.
What say you, Council of Dans?
We got all the Dan variants.
Yep.
There we go.
Also, if there's any noise, Dasher is using his litter box, which is about 10 feet away from me.
Ah. That
Hey,
gives
you know
the
what? I read a
studio
really
interesting
moving book
dynamic.
when I was younger. It told me that everybody poops.
True. Can confirm.
What I've heard.
Okay, the next time that we have Robbie on the show, we have to have him talk to you about dump day. And that's all I'm going to say about it until then.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory.
I'm so confused. But also I'm very much here for it.
It's
Well,
actually
Dan,
a more
should I,
interesting conversation than you'd think.
It is, yeah. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there is.
Dan, should I bump you out so that way you can go wrangle some cats?
Yeah, do you know where their costumes are?
They should be in this bag right next to me.
Oh, okay, you've got them with you. Okay, then I will.
Yeah.
Should I just treat them, you think?
I say we bring up 2 meaty sticks.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, we can give them a few bites of the meaty stick before we costume them. And then once we get their costumes on, we'll give them more. And then if they don't like them, we'll immediately take them off because we haven't tested out this year's costumes yet.
Yeah, drop me out and I'll go get them.
Okay.
All right.
I dropped them.
Dropped them. It's unfortunate. At $15 more, everybody, then we will do a Halloween themed horror movie bracket. I selected 16 horror movies, so I selected them. So the 2010s got 2, the 2000s got 2, the 90s got 2, the 80s got 2, the 70s got 2, the 60s got 2, and then like 50s and prior got 1, and then the 2020s got 1, and then I threw in 2 wild cards.
Ooh, nice.
Total of 16 movies. Definitely some notable exceptions, but I think I got a pretty encompassing group of horror movies. So
nice.
Oh, I love that movie, Shinobi. We got a Spider-Man behind Trevor needs a Dan Merle outfit. Yeah, need to make that happen.
That would have been so cool. Especially because it's like not even quite Dan Merle sized, but it's close.
Yeah. Let's see.
Nick asked if we're characters from King of the Hill. I could see that from a first glance, especially if you were a fan of the show. I could see it. I hear some things. Things are happening. I hear jingle bells, which means cats are near. What? 7:30. What time is it? Oh, okay. The cats get fed literally in 1 minute. We're gonna let them get fed first, because if not, they're gonna just run away the second the feeders go off, because they have automatic feeders. So put a pin in cat costumes, but it's happening. We have met the goal. It's happening.
All right. Yeah. What do you want to do until we hit our $40 for the bracket?
Well, do you want me to? What do you know thus far about the Final Destination franchise?
What do I know? Okay, so I'm very little. So I'm pretty sure that there is a character. So there's a character that's called Death, right?
I mean, not a corporeal character, but yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a car, or like a flying thing. And then I know there's like a lightning bolt.
Are you just saying things that exist?
And then there's like a group of teenagers, and then I think one of them like falls off of a gymnastics thing and then like snaps their back.
Okay, yeah. So you remember some of those like iconic kills. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the general premise is Death wants to kill people, and if you cheat Death, Death's going to find his way to you eventually, and it's just known for the outrageous, like Rube Goldbergian killings.
Got it.
And yes, movie Fanobi is correct. The lumber truck is the big thing from Final Destination 2.
Okay. I'm
It's
sure
true though. Every single time I see a log truck, I think of that movie.
Let's see. So what have you been watching this week that you can disclose?
Let's see. Well, I've been watching the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Nice.
We were watching a lot of Guillermo del Toro for the Patreon, because the Patreon movie club this month has The Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water, and Crimson Peak. So we've watched all of those.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, we of course are keeping up with Bake Off. So we watched that on Friday. We are eagerly awaiting tomorrow's culmination of Halloween Wars, and the very next day, the beginning of Holiday Baking Championship. So excited!
Yes, that's a staple in our household as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Cool.
We're waiting to binge Halloween Wars stuff, so we haven't been keeping up with it week to week.
We're actually going to go back and watch the first like 6 or 7 seasons of Halloween Baking Championship, because we always used to watch Halloween Wars, and we love Holiday Baking Championship. We never realized until this year there was a Halloween Baking Championship, because I kind of like that show better, like where they actually have to like make like a real cake and a real design into this, instead of just like, it's cool to watch somebody like carve a huge pumpkin and make a big scary thing with sugar work and stuff, but I just like watching the baking ones because that's stuff I would actually do. So we have a huge backlog to go through, and I'm very excited.
Nice. Yeah.
What about you? What have you watched this week, Trevor?
What have I watched this week? Okay, so I showed a friend a double feature of Parasite and Shiva Baby in one night. They loved both of them. They also stated that Parasite was a perfect movie, which, like, yeah. Those are just two phenomenal films. They are just like really, really good. It's there's a lot to like with them. I would agree that Parasite is a perfect film. Like I've seen those movies so many times. So this was my 8th watch of Shiva Baby and my 4th watch of Parasite.
Wow.
It's still so hard for me to find flaws with either. I think it's easier to find flaws with Shiva Baby, but I still just unabashedly love both of those movies.
I should rewatch Parasite. I know I've said it so many times. I really love that movie, but I just haven't gone back to it for no particular reason. It just hasn't happened yet. So maybe if I can carve out the time. I feel like I've been a little frazzled and busy of late. So we'll see. Maybe I can get some downtime to just not do anything at all and sit and watch. And that'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. What else did I watch? This is a short film, but I'll talk about it. I watched Georges Méliès's classic A Trip to the Moon from 1902. It was just fun to see. Surprisingly, like, says a lot about like imperialism and colonialism that I wasn't expecting from a 1902 silent short film. Yeah, it was fun. Like, it's hard to really talk about it since it's 15 minutes long. But it's fun. It's a really important piece of film history. And I would suggest everybody go check it out. And then I watched Lamb, the A24 film.
Oh, I need to watch it. I'm so excited about it.
I really liked it. I really, really liked it.
It looks like it's my speed. Like, they're either very much my speed or it's just not my tempo, even if I appreciate it. But this one looks like it's like right there.
And it isn't entirely a horror movie. Like, there is a lot of like family drama stuff that like there's still horror elements, but it's just surprisingly like very well crafted. Also, I saw it was selected by Iceland as its Oscar submission.
Oh,
which is fun. And speaking of awards,
oh wait, hold on real quick. By the way, we saw Antlers. Antlers was so good. So good. Dan did an audio review of it that you can go check out. Again, shameless plug. But man, I really loved that movie. Really, really liked it.
Because I've been hearing a bunch of like mixed things about it. So if you like that, it makes me excited to check it out.
I mean, let me put it this way. It has a lot to say about a lot of really serious issues. And if people don't want to listen to that, or they just don't want to look into its serious themes, because it does. It has some really serious themes in it. Then it probably won't resonate very well with people. But yeah, I think you'd like it.
Okay. I also want to mention my mom's review of The French Dispatch. So she said it was her favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Really?
But also she docked a couple points because she says that there's too much nudity. But other than that, great.
That is a very mom thing to say.
Just wanted to shout that out. I'm trying to convince her to make me let me make her a letterboxd.
That would be fun.
I'm working on it. Okay. Do you want to talk about the People's Choice Awards?
Dan, or sorry, I called the cat Dan. Hold on one second.
We will talk about.
I'm going to start getting him into his costume while you get started introducing the bogusness of the bonkers of the People's Choice. Okay, apparently people shouldn't be given choices is what this is telling me.
Listen, the People's Choice Awards were never meant to be like pointing out the best in film. I mean, they gave Bad Boys for Life their best picture last year. Granted, there wasn't that much. They gave Avengers Endgame the award in 2019. Infinity War got it in 2018. It's usually pretty dominated by superhero movies. But let's talk about what they did this year.
So Sir Pounce is a candy corn.
Ooh.
Hold on. Come here, buddy. Here, he'll come sit on me. Come here, bud. Come to mommy. Hey, buddy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You want to sit on me 24/7, except when I want you to. Hey. What are you, camera shy now? He's just standing here slightly off camera. Hey, bud. Oh, here we go. Hey, he's a good boy. Do you want to look at the camera? Hey, look at the camera. Oh, who's a candy corn? I know, not super original, but he likes it.
Yeah.
Come here, sweetie.
Muffin's on her way. Muffin is a bat, by the way, so this could be a disaster.
Once again, everybody, $15, and we'll do a horror movie bracket.
Hold on, I'm going to move my microphone for a minute.
Cat costumes. The peak of fashion.
Oh, Muffin.
That was an actual noise that came out of a cat? Garth, did you vote on the People's Choice Awards? I'm curious to hear what you voted on, because there are some pretty interesting things in here. Well, Mara really has some J.K. Simmons whiplash banter in here. Oh, nice.
Okay. She was very unhappy that Sir Pounce was near him, or near her. Oh my gosh, she looks so cute! I just can't. She actually kind of likes them. I mean, she always likes wearing clothes, but she seems to really like these. She's just really mad at Sir Pounce because apparently she does not like candy corn. Or him.
Neither do I. If I'm being
I don't either. I think candy corn is good for like 3 pieces and then it tastes disgusting.
Fair. Gareth, I didn't vote on People's Choice Awards, but I do love my superhero movies. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, Mara, we can go category by category.
We have a standoff. I'm not going to originate the standoff with any cultures, but
all right, let's commentate
something's
on
going to
this.
happen.
All right, candy corn's moving a bit closer, settles down. Still glaring.
All right, what is Muffin going to do here? I see her gears turning. Does she decide to walk past, or does she go and bop him?
Looking for an escape. Backs up.
Oh, Muffin, you look so cute. She is just thinking so. Oh.
Arched back from candy corn. Ooh, but the sit down.
Oh, Garth with the let them fight. That is kind of perfect right now. Muffin could be Mothra because he's got wings.
The basement and all associates do not condone animal fighting. The bat continuing to retreat.
We figured out last night, honestly, like the joke was always that Muffin is the alpha cat because she was there first and sometimes she gets picky about him. But I honestly think that he is the alpha cat because yesterday Muffin was sitting on the sofa and Sir Pounce walks over and just does what he always does, which he just like puts his paw on her and just kind of pokes at her until she runs away. And then he sits exactly where she was. And then yesterday, I was making the faux nuts and Muffin she likes butter. So sometimes I'll like rub a little butter on my finger, just enough. And then I'll let her lick it just a little bit, even though again, just like a little bit. But I didn't want to give her any. And she was down at my feet, just like going in and out of them, going rah, rah, and doing her Muffin thing. And he will occasionally, especially when I take a bath, because Muffin likes to get in the bathtub with me. But if I have a bath bomb in there, I can't let her in because, it could hurt her. Like she could have a sensitivity to it, even though they're organic and stuff. I just don't let her anywhere near it. So he'll scruff her. He'll grab her like mom cats grab baby cats and he'll go right here. And he grabs her and he just holds on to her until she decides she's going to leave. And then last night when she was doing her, like going in and out of my legs, I looked down and I didn't realize what had happened. He scruffed her and she's just sitting there and he's just got her scruffed and he's looking up at me like, I'm doing a good job, aren't I? And I was just like, let her go, buddy, let her go. And he would not let her go. Like he wasn't hurting her. He was just restraining her. But like, I was like, buddy, just let her go. And so I had to like kind of tap on him like, Sir Pounce, let her go. And so I decided last night that, Muffin just she's having a little difficulty navigating the wings are tilting her. um, but I think he's actually the alpha cat, which is so funny.
Yeah. Nick says, did you ever consider getting dogs?
Oh, I grew up with dogs. We were a dog house. I had never had cats as a younger person. It's just that with longer hours when I was in the Navy and when I worked at the power plant, and then small apartments without having a yard in LA, cats make a lot more sense for responsibility and giving an animal a good life. But I'd certainly say we're interested, although Dan and I have some small philosophical differences about the ideal dog. I like big dogs. He is not as much a fan of large breed dogs. So, I don't really want to have an animal small enough to fit in a handbag. So unless it's okay.
I don't want a purse dog. I just like, beagles.
No,
and
Leo, you like Leo, and Leo could fit in a bag.
Leo is about as small as I would go. Well, you make it sound like I want to be Paris Hilton with a Chihuahua in my purse. No, I don't like huge dogs.
And I do.
I must say I side with Dan on this one. I'm not a big fan of huge dogs. If I were to get a dog, I'd want the smaller one. Just like a regularly sized, like medium sized to small dog, but not like a teacup poodle.
Okay, the only small dogs I would consider are Pomeranians because they double as a dust brush. A Boston Terrier because they just look cute. Let's see. There's a couple others, I think. Maybe a Corgi, but I know they have a lot of health issues. Dan is just addicted to doodles. He just wants a doodle.
I love the doodles, but you're never gonna be able to do Labradoodle, you name it, Poodoodle. But there would never be one for rescue, and I also share Mara's commitment to getting rescue animals. So as much as I love doodles, I don't think I don't think that we'll ever have one, because I agree we should try to rescue a dog. Indeed.
Yeah. Great.
And yes, we love Taco.
Oh, Taco. Yeah, we got along very well.
I still love that so much.
Nerdchronic. Yeah. How you doing? All right. So should we talk about these People's Choice Awards? So we can go down category by category. We can pick what we think the incredibly dumb public will vote for. And what okay, Dan, you give that face, but they nominated Halloween Kills for Best Drama. Okay. F9 got 8 nominations.
Wait, when was the deadline on these nominations? That movie came out last week.
Yeah, I don't know.
2 weeks ago.
Dune is on here, so I don't know.
Okay.
But we can go category by category. We can pick what we want to win and what we think will win.
Okay.
So action movie star John Cena, F9. Daniel Craig, No Time to Die. Vin Diesel, F9. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. Simu Liu, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Chris Pratt, The Tomorrow War. Florence Pugh, Black Widow. And Charlize Theron, F9.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that Bob Odenkirk's absence in this category is heinous.
Yes.
Agreed. 100%.
I feel like we need to add this category in our awards, Trevor.
Action performance.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. The people have a very short-term memory. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I would probably vote for Simu Liu because he was doing most of the action stuff, probably as much or more than anyone else in this category.
That scene where he hits the knife and then catches it underhanded, real, all practical, really done, no wires, no nothing. It took like 100 and something takes. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's
time and energy was put into that fight choreography.
That's who I would vote for, but I think that John Cena is going to win.
Probably.
So I'm going to be a little contrarian. My personal pick is going to be Florence Pugh in Black Widow. I think that she gives one of the best performances the MCU has ever seen. I also just love Florence Pugh, but like I think she gives a legitimately great performance in Black Widow. And I think that the people are gonna vote for Daniel Craig. I think that like Bond frenzy is gonna be a real thing.
I mean, it is his swan song for Bond,
Yeah.
so they always love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's enough people out there who aren't gonna vote for John Cena. Like there has to be, right? Right? Yeah. All right, comedy star. Emily Blunt, Jungle Cruise. Was that funny? Salma Hayek, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Dwayne Johnson, Jungle Cruise. Leslie Jones, Coming to America. Melissa McCarthy, Thunder Force. Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. Ryan Reynolds, Free Guy. Octavia Spencer, Thunder Force. So there's only one correct choice here.
I mean, yeah,
Ryan Reynolds, right?
Ryan Reynolds,
yeah.
right?
Right. I think he will win as well.
Yeah.
Him or The Rock, but I'm going to go with Rai.
I'm also going to say Ryan Reynolds, though I wouldn't be shocked if Eddie Murphy wins for absolutely no reason.
I mean, the sad thing is, in the first Coming to America, he was awesome.
Yeah. I liked that movie way more than I thought I would. I'm typically not a fan of like just comedies in general, but I actually really like that movie.
Moonraker was the porn virgin. That might be why he put you off James Bond films. I think there's a mistake.
Anyways,
one Dan has died. We're down to 2.
I was disappointed by the way Jacob said he didn't have an overshirt. So sadly, I could not send him the link because I'm true to my word.
I'll send him. We'll have it by New Year, maybe.
All right. Drama movie star. Emily Blunt, A Quiet Place Part 2, double nomination.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Chalamet, Dune.
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, Fatherhood. Completely forgot that movie even happened. I watched it, just completely forgot about it. Jennifer Hudson, Respect, an actual Oscars contender. Jason Momoa, Dune. Anthony Ramos, In the Heights. And Emma Stone, Cruella.
Ah, yes, the great drama, Cruella.
Yeah, right.
This is interesting.
This is tough because a lot of these don't really bend drama very much.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
I think it's gonna go to J HUD.
Yeah, I think so.
And I would probably vote for, I don't know, maybe Timmy Chacha or
I think I might vote for Anthony Ramos, even though I know that
he was good. He was good.
Yeah. I think he has no shot, which is super sad.
Yeah. It'd be probably Ramos for me. Yeah.
So my personal pick is probably Timothy Chalamet, Dune, closely followed by Emily Blunt in The Quiet Place Part 2. I do think that she's really good, but my vote would go to Timothy Chalamet, Dune. I think Emma Stone is winning this. I think that people are going to show up for Emma Stone, either her or Jason Momoa. I think those two are going to get a lot of votes. I see it happening, but my prediction is Emma Stone. My personal pick, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, there you go.
All right, female star. Awkwafina, Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. Salma Hayek, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Jennifer Hudson, Respect. Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. Leslie Jones, Coming to America. Florence Pugh, Black Widow. Margot Robbie, The Suicide Squad. And Charlize Theron, F9, The Fast Saga.
Wait, so Emily Blunt's not in this category?
No, not at
nominated?
Even though she was in drama and comedy, she isn't here.
Yeah.
But Margot Robbie, who wasn't in any of the other ones, is. Plus Leslie Jones is here.
Interesting.
Huh.
Um,
It's weird. See, I feel like
I
you should
mean,
be
I
able to
think that
nominate a star for like multiple movies. Because I
Yeah.
bet if you total up the number of votes Emily Blunt got for A Quiet Place and Jungle Cruise, she probably would have made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's absent here.
hi.
I'm my personal pick is either Florence Pugh or Margot Robbie. Probably Florence Pugh again. What I think is going to win, I think that people are going to show up for Awkwafina.
I would probably vote for Florence Pugh just in general, but I think
Yeah.
that Margot Robbie is going to win.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's the sad thing, though, is like People's Choice is just like almost so unpredictable because it's just about like there's not really there are no actual metrics by which people are compelled to vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
So, yeah, I don't know. Do you have any picks or predictions, Mara?
I mean, I would say honestly that I could see Jennifer Hudson winning one or the other category. I think she would probably win one of them, and I think people would just like either that or it would split the vote so much that an outside winner would come in for both categories, because I think there will be a lot of people that say she was great and I want to acknowledge her, but I don't want to pick her for both categories because there are so many great performances, and so I want to like I'm going to pick this one and not vote for her in the other. So if everyone picks the same way, then I see her getting one but not the other, or an outside winner coming in because 50% split the vote in one category and 50% split the vote in the other category. So, yeah. So I don't know.
Be interesting. All right, male movie star John Cena, F9, double nominee. Daniel Craig, No Time to Die. Vin Diesel, F9. Dwayne Johnson, Jungle Cruise. How does Dwayne Johnson get into the? But Emily Blunt doesn't. For Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. Eddie Murphy, Coming to America. Chris Pratt, The Tomorrow War, and Ryan Reynolds, Free Guy.
Well, that's tough.
I would vote for Ryan Reynolds, but I think The Rock is going to win it.
Yeah.
I would vote for Daniel Craig, but I think Simu Liu is going to win it. All right. Family movie. So this is an interesting one. We got Cinderella.
The Amazon one?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. Luca.
Okay.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Okay.
The Boss Baby Family Business. The Mitchells vs. the Machines.
Okay.
Tom and Jerry.
I mean, how many options do you really have here?
Vivo.
Wait,
And
Vivo? Is that out?
Yes Day. Yeah, Vivo's out. They came out a couple months ago.
I'm thinking of a different movie.
Vivo is the Lin-Manuel Miranda one.
Oh, okay.
And then Yes Day, the Jennifer Garner Netflix thing.
Okay.
Well, I think Mitchell's versus the Machine should win.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it will, too. I'm going to say it's going to win.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, what were those nominees again?
Let's see.
I
We
missed
got
something.
Cinderella. There's Luca. There's Raya and the Last Dragon. There was the Boss Baby Family Business.
The what?
Booyah.
Basket.
Yay!
Look at those chunky little legs.
I don't want to bask in that, actually.
Thank you, by the way, Garth. He reminded me.
Yes. Also, just a reminder to everybody, $15 more, and we will do a Halloween or a horror movie bracket.
Yes.
So we're almost there. Yeah, I think that Mitchell's vs. the Machines should win this. I think that Luca will win.
Sadly, I
Interesting.
think you're probably right.
Even though Mitchell's Earth Machines is just great. All right,
It was
best
so
drama
good. I can't
movie.
believe it took me that long to watch it. You were like, I think you wanted to commit a grievous bodily injury to me if I hadn't watched it by the time I finally did.
It's so good. It's so good. Listen, it's not going to win animated feature. I don't think at the Oscars, but like I hope it at least gets nominated. Like, don't disrespect it like you did with the Lego movie. Like Lord Miller's great.
Disrespect.
All right, drama movie. A Quiet Place Part 2.
Okay.
As we mentioned, esteemed drama Cruella.
Mm-hmm.
Dune.
Okay.
Fatherhood. Halloween Kills.
Boo.
In the Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Old.
Wow.
And Respect.
All right.
What? Why is Halloween Kills?
Maybe it's recency bias, but I would take Dune right
Yeah,
now.
I would too.
Yeah, I'm picking Dune, and I'm probably predicting Dune. But like, why is Halloween Kills here? One, how is that a drama? I guess there's no horror category, but like and like that has to just be recency bias, right?
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe it's just that, like, I guess what would you put in its place is the real question.
I
Because
mean,
maybe people just couldn't think of anything else.
Nick is unhappy with our amount of roasting.
oh, I mean, okay, so like Coda.
I think this is really where it starts, though. Like,
Michael
what
Myers
is
got
happening with this?
roasted at the end of Halloween. He's roasted in Halloween Kills.
I think there's a lot that you could have put in this place. Like my mind immediately goes to Coda. Like, I mean, that was a streaming movie. It was Apple TV.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
even Annette,
like,
I would say.
Oh, Annette will never get.
No, I mean, I'm just saying what you would put in its place is like what would be a better drama to put in there.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes.
My candy corn is trying to pull out my earbuds.
Brand. The Halloween Kills is more dramatic than Cruella.
I'm surprised that there were no nominations for
mean,
Zack Snyder's Justice League, considering how internet buzzy that it is.
I mean, I would say it came out in March, but like we're seeing Coming to America show up, so like.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
Cruella came out in May. Raya and the Last Dragon came out earlier in the year, so people are remembering some, but no Godzilla. Well, we'll see if there's any others from this year. But
on what else I would have placed it in that drama, The Green Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking over it.
Pig.
Pig, definitely.
Pig. Yes.
None of the Fear Street movies. I'm kind of surprised.
Oh yeah, Fear Street Part 2 was so good. I mean, they were all good, but that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Something that I was kind of surprised didn't show up was like The Many Saints of Newark or No Sudden Move.
Yeah, or even like Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Stillwater also feels like a thing. Like that could have happened to like Matt Damon. There's a lot. You know what? Like what I really would love to see is like if we saw like Worst Person in the World or like Titan or Flea show up, but like that's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
School would have been better than that.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, just some Eyes of Tammy Faye would have been fun to see in here.
Yeah, nobody saw those movies, so you know.
Yeah. I mean, even The French Dispatch, like that. I guess we're going up to October 22nd for releases, so like you know. But action movie. Well, what are we picking for drama? Are we picking Dune for everything?
I am. Yeah.
I mean, I picked Dune for now. Yeah.
Okay, action movie. Black Widow. F9, The Fast Saga. Godzilla vs. Kong. No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, The Suicide Squad, The Tomorrow War, and Venom Let There Be Carnage.
This is tough because,
This
for
is
example, like Shang-Chi had so much good fight choreography, a lot of practical work done, and even the background people were like accomplished, like either martial artists or fighters. Like even the background choreography is just so good. Um, but as an overall picture, though, I think there are stronger overall films that are in that category that are more than just hand-to-hand fighting, and so that's a tough one for me.
Okay, hold up. Nick wanted more roasting. Can we pull up Nick's comment about Tom and Jerry, because that needs to be roasted? He says, honestly, Tom and Jerry was not that bad. I understand that film is subjective, but like that movie is objectively bad. I don't.
Trevor,
Hot take from
getting
Trevor.
spicy.
Okay, so Tom and Jerry felt like a Hallmark movie, but there was like actually accomplished people in that who just decided that, I don't know, they didn't want to try that day. Like we have the script of a Hallmark movie. It's shot like a Hallmark movie. We got like freaking people from London deciding to get married. Oh, how nice! And then like Chloe Grace Moretz is there, and like she's just wandering around with like animated mice, and literally nobody cares. And then there's like animated like animals in there for no reason, and then like some of them can talk, and then some of them can't, and then like they start singing for some reason, and it's really weirdly integrated. And then like the line that I point out to how stupid this movie is okay. So we got I can't even remember which one is with. Tom is the cat, right? Okay, so we got Tom. He's a cat, and then he starts playing the drums. Okay, so he's like running away, and then he starts playing the drums, and then everybody starts gathering around to this animated cat playing the drums. And you're like, oh wow, this is great, right? Clap, 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 clap. And then he's pretending to be blind. Okay, so that's the they're like, wow, this is crazy. And then they take off like blind, so I don't even remember how, but somehow they figure out that he's not blind, and they're like, what? It's just a regular cat that's not blind playing the drums? How stupid! And then they leave. Point in case. That movie is objectively bad. I don't even know what you're talking about. Is that enough roasting for you, Nick?
Oh my gosh, this is like the most snarky I've ever heard you.
Oh, Nick says Coda was the best. All of that was forgiven. You're the best, Nick.
Yes, precisely. Oh, that's a super cool picture, by the way. That snowman looks quite happy to exist.
He does.
Dan will be right back, by the way. I'm just making sure that he's going to remove Muffin's wings just because she's not thrilled.
Fair. Okay, so this action movie category actually isn't the worst. So I still haven't seen Venom Let There Be Carnage. Other than that, I've seen everything else. I think I've seen everything on here so far except Yes Day and then Venom Let There Be Carnage.
What?
I still haven't seen those.
Wait, so you didn't get them off of her?
No, she kept biting me.
Where is she?
On the couch downstairs.
She seems happy?
No, but well, not bite me, so.
Put on oven mitts.
Okay.
All right, sorry. Muffin had an easy time getting into them, doesn't seem to want to get out of them now. So now she's decided they're a part of her.
Oh, well, I honestly, her being upset probably has nothing to do with the wings. She's probably just like watched Tom and Jerry and is just like really upset.
She's upset at the representation of cats in that movie. She said Cats was a masterpiece compared to that.
Yeah. Honestly though, like solid take, Muffin. Solid take. What's her favorite cat in a movie?
Ooh, favorite cat in a movie.
Because going back to Wes Anderson, I must say it's Jeff Goldblum's cat that is tragically killed in the Grand Budapest Hotel. Spoilers.
This is tough because do you go for like a talking cat or just a cat that's really adorable but is in a movie?
The Hunger Games cat is kind of cute. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh,
buttermilk or something like that.
what?
Is it like buttermilk or something like that? It has something to do with like a food of like dairy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. Something like that.
I'm gonna Google the Hunger Games cat. Autocorrected to catching fire. I don't want that.
Tell me what it starts with when you find it.
Oh, I was really close. It starts with a B.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Oh, man. Sorry. Sometimes this is how I study. Sometimes I can find it in my catalog of brain. Give me a second here.
Got
By the way, someone suggested Jonesy from Alien. That's a great Alien and Aliens, technically. Great cat.
Also, I see the cats in Batman Returns, the cat from Hocus Pocus.
Yep, Binks. I figured someone would say that.
Yeah, Milo and Otis, whichever one was the cat. Crookshanks has to be in there.
Oh man! All right, just tell me. It's okay.
Buttercup. I was very close. I said buttermilk, I think.
Yes, you did, but they were both dairy.
Yeah. The cat was Milo. Got it. Okay. Anyways, action movie.
By the way, also, did you see we have met our next goal?
Ooh, we have. Let me see. From Garth Harkness Murray. I think I know him. Donated $15. He said, "Here you go for the Halloween movie reviews. Take a look at my Halloween Kills review on Letterboxd." I will. I think I read that and I remember laughing and liking it. Okay. Best action movie though. So we had Black Widow, F9, Godzilla vs. Kong, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, The Suicide Squad, The Tomorrow War, and Venom. Man, it's either like the three I'm between are No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, and The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick F9. Honestly, though, my prediction of what's going to win is F9. And my personal pick, I'm gonna go with. Nick says, "Oh, I disagree. I actually think that some of the jokes had potential to be funny, and they just need to be refined a little bit. That's all. That is unfair roasting from you, young man." Actually,
wow.
Actually, I'm approaching 40. I think my name is Dan. I don't know what you're talking about.
He is approaching 40.
Didn't want to throw out a specific age. But what's your pick here for action movie?
Like I said, it's tough because do I go for what has the most obvious care and consideration put into the physical, like in-camera fight choreography, or do I go for the one that has the overall best action? Because I mean, action is does include special effects action, so that's tough. That's really tough. I mean, I feel like there's going to be a distribution of love across these categories, I think, and I would say that maybe this is the Suicide Squad category.
Yeah, maybe. And I'd be perfectly fine with that. I wouldn't complain.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that movie.
I don't think I was as high on it as most people, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. All right, comedy movie. This is where it gets really bad. Like really bad. I think there's one good movie out of this bunch.
Okay.
Coming to America.
Okay.
Free Guy. There's our one good movie. He's All That.
No.
That's my second least favorite movie of the year. So on my rankings, I think I have 99 movies of 2021, and that is number 98. Only ahead of The Kissing Booth 3. So great accomplishment there. No, like this. Okay, this movie didn't need to happen. Like, okay. Also, like, She's All That isn't that good to begin with. Fight me. Like, it's not a good movie. It's like
no, it's a terrible representation of human relationships. But I like watching it.
Also, so is it supposed to be based on My Fair Lady?
I think so, but I don't know if it was overtly done that way.
If so, we've now had like a string of like 4 remakes that have progressively gotten worse. Pygmalion, 1938, great movie. Everybody should go watch it. It's like really, really good. Then My Fair Lady, like it's fine. So many unnecessary musical numbers. Like it did not need to be 3 hours long. Also, like, you know, if you're going to do a musical, you should probably have a male lead that can actually sing. And Rex Harrison can't. And then you have She's All That, which is like not good at all. And then He's All That sometimes manages to be like 10 times worse. Yeah, this movie is terrible.
Is this movie breaking you?
Like between He's All That and The Kissing Booth 3, like Netflix rom-coms make me think that I hate movies.
Can I just say that the costume is obviously getting to Trevor because this is just all Dan rants.
Speaking of
Careful.
costumes,
Like
though,
the One
has
Ring,
Muffin-
you can't keep it on for too long, or else you'll the ranting will just become uncontrollable. Muffin, you're taking the wings off next year because she was not happy.
But she's okay though.
Yeah, she bit me a couple times.
Oh, she doesn't bite me. She's never bitten me.
Ugh, she bites me.
She's
That's
not a
special.
biter naturally. She likes to nibble on me. I raised her from a kitten that was still on milk. She loves me.
Well, I bring out an unnatural biting instinct in her then.
Okay, so I actually 100% agree with Jack. I would rather watch 10 Things I Hate About You than She's All That or He's All That. Like, I would rather watch 10 Things I Hate About You 10 times than watch 10 minutes of He's All That. I think that 10 Things I Hate About You is like a legitimately like decent movie. Like
Oh yeah, it is.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, we're all dressed as Dan. Everybody's Dan. But not Dan. Dan's not Dan. Okay. So we have Coming to America, we have Free Guy, and we have He's All That, and comedy. Then we have Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which was just like, it existed, I guess. Then the Jungle Cruise, not the Jungle Cruise, just Jungle Cruise. There's a challenge.
Well, no, they'll remake it in 2 or 3 years and call it The Jungle Cruise.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are we calling Suicide Squad 3? The Suicide Squad?
No, it's gonna go back
Also
to
the
just
Suicide Squad.
Okay.
By the way, we got a Streamlabs from Hitman Hudson who says, hot take. I thought He's All That was a 2.5 stars out of 5. It was definitely a mediocre rom-com, but it wasn't nearly as bad, it wasn't nearly as bad as The Kissing Booth 3. Thoughts?
So my thoughts are that that's wrong. I'm sorry. But like, who decided that Addison Rae was allowed to do anything? Just anything. I am convinced that she is not a human and she's just like pretending to be and doing a terrible job at it.
Dang, Trevor, you're on fire today in a lot of ways.
She's like awful in this. Yeah. Like she just kills that movie. And also she's just like, you know, as Hitman points out, a terrible person. But like, yeah, she has the personality of a shredded piece of paper. Like, she's horrible in this. So like, I guess like some of the rom-com writing is like fine, but like, it tries to like make commentary on like kids' relationships to like internet, and it just turns like it's like stupid. Like they don't understand how to write kids, and the fact that Addison Rae just, I'm convinced, is not a human being doesn't help that. Like it feels so fake in so many ways. Yeah. So like I get putting it at 2.5, but just like Addison Rae alone, just like a yikes. Yeah, like you're saying, you think that's like, yeah, Addison Rae as a person is unrelated to the quality of film. Like, I think that she carries a lot of that over into the movie. I mean, also weird. Like, there's a crazy like Akira Kurosawa name drop. Like, Akira Kurosawa is mentioned in this movie. And I'm sorry that his name had to be attached to this in any way.
Oh, I heard you wrote the script. I heard it was an unproduced script. Is that not true?
Actually, it was Rob Reiner. Only
okay.
a few people got it. Yeah. Him and what you're saying, it's a terrible representation of high school. But that is every high school movie. I wouldn't say every high school movie. But yeah, a lot about that didn't work for me. But I do understand putting it at 2.5 out of 5. I know also that a lot of people who enjoyed the original also enjoyed this one. But the original is also just not for me. But yeah, so we got Coming to America, Free Guy, He's All That, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, Jungle Cruise, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Thunder Force,
Wow,
and Vacation Friends, the John Cena Hulu movie.
I mean, Free Guy kind of wins by default. At least it's good.
If it actually, like, you know, isn't, it's higher than like a 2 out of 5. Yeah, like, if Free Guy doesn't win this category, if literally anything other than Free Guy wins this category, I'll be so mad. But that's my pick and prediction.
I don't like how that sounds.
Nick says, I wonder if the male singing in My Fair Lady inspired the singing in Mamma Mia.
Ooh,
I don't feel like Rex Harrison. He's a talk singer. It's just a different kind of singing.
Is talking singing? Is like talking to music singing?
It can be.
I not the way that he does it though. I don't know. I think that he's really bad. Like,
Fair enough.
I think, like, because like the songs aren't all that bad, but like he makes them drag so much, I guess. Especially in a 3-hour movie. But I think that, yeah, he isn't the worst, but there were definitely better choices in 1964 of male actors who could sing. That was loud.
sorry.
It's fine. It was just, yeah.
Mara, you should check the Streamlabs.
I just did, actually.
Ooh.
But yeah, for you guys to win. All right.
Well, Dan, why don't you read it if you just checked it? Go ahead.
No, I get a notification when one comes in.
Well, here, I'll put it in the private chat, though. You can read this one.
Okay.
You're part of the show. You're important. I value you.
PLD donated $20.
No, I don't want it if it's from PLD.
Oh, Trevor, you've got to take
Okay,
the
well, I'll
costume
just
off.
take 100% of that then. We won't split that one. That's fine.
We'll
No,
take
I'm
it.
just kidding. I love PLD.
We're ordering pizza,
Oh,
which we can
pizza.
do without asking permission because we're adults.
Well, I'm also
one of us is.
It would also kill me.
I'm a child-sized
That too.
person over the age of 18. I guess that's what an adult is, but I don't know.
PLD
I still buy
says-
my clothes in the kids' department. So is that really being an adult?
PLD says, just dropping by from work to say Happy Devil's Night. See, Devil's Night. We were talking about that in my Patreon AMA. Watch The Crow. And, of course, Happy Halloween. Trevor, we were talking about AMA. I had never heard of Devil's Night until I moved to California because it's not a thing here. But apparently it is, like, in the Midwest. But Mara also hadn't heard of it.
I've heard of it. I just in passing. Yeah. And Happy Halloween, PLD.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that gets us to our $60 goal, which was the I think that was the Halloween review game. Yeah, Jack, I had pizza tonight. Nice. Who the heck thought it was a good idea to make a new Space Jam movie? The original is the best. Stop making crappy sequels to good movies. I wouldn't say that the original is the best, but also I agree who thought it was a good idea to make a new Space Jam movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's funny, the Blu-ray for that, like, it just came out like a month ago, and you know how they come out at like $25? It's already dropped down to like $10. The 4K is like $12
I believe
on Amazon. Like, it dropped fast. All right, we have some games to do, but let's briefly talk about the Best Picture nominees. Of the
Yeah,
People's
let's
Choice
wrap
Awards.
this up.
Black Widow, Coming to America, F9, Dune, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, The Tomorrow War, and Venom: Let There Be Carnage.
I mean, this is probably the same finalists we're going to see at the Oscars, so it's good that we're hashing this out now.
I mean, I just got to put, for me personally, I've just got to throw all my cards in the Dune basket for this one. It's just a cut
Agreed.
above in almost every single possible way.
That's the only one on here that's actually going to get a Best Picture nomination.
Maybe.
Dune?
I hope so, but I don't know.
I feel very confident in it getting picture. I do. Yeah, I'm throwing everything into Dune.
Buy, sell, buy. If it's the stock market, Trevor says buy.
Yes.
But yeah, it's People's Choice is weird. So like as far as big awards, we've gotten the Gotham Awards and the People's Choice Awards, and we've had no similar nominees across the board in any category.
Which I like. I was just telling Mara the other day, I like that there's no, like by this time last year, the Nomadland train was already like, it is already like the front runner,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, it's going to be Nomadland. And then it was boring. Like there's like no one movie at all that has like any like definitive Best Picture buzz, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I think that Belfast is the front runner right now, just because it won TIFF People's Choice. Solely for that reason, in like every year since like 2007, the TIFF People's Choice winner has at least gotten nominated in over half of the times it's won. So,
which I think is interesting.
I mean, like because Nomadland won it, Green Book won it. I think Parasite won it. Like it's been very consistent. But like a lot can change. Like there's still so much we haven't seen too. I mean, Nightmare Alley, House of Gucci, West Side Story, Don't Look Up. I mean, the first reviews of Don't Look Up from like critics groups who've gotten to see it are like people are absolutely loving it, which makes me happy because I honestly thought that movie was going to flop. So
there you go.
Yeah, there's so much that we haven't seen. That's very, very exciting. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see a season like last year where it was just Nomadland getting picture and director straight through.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Which will be fun. Yeah.
Suspense.
Absolutely. Like 2019 was the best year for like the award season. I mean, you had no clue who was winning Best Picture all the way up to the night. I mean, even like halfway through the award show, you had no clue, which was great. And the ending of Parasite winning, like that Oscar ceremony, better than like I would say 75% of these People's Choice Award nominees.
Definitely, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Should we do a horror movie bracket?
Yeah, we definitely should.
Lifted directly from the minds of Jacob London and Taylor Robinson, who are the first people to ever do brackets ever. Andrew says, could Titan end up a Best Picture nominee? That would be interesting.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't think so. I think it could get director, though. With Neon behind it, we usually see an international director. It's like very well directed. I could see. I think that Julie Ducournau is like the most possible if we're going to see an international director to continue that trend.
I believe that the international director will be Denis Villeneuve for Dune. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I also, so my out there Best Picture prediction right now is Flea.
Oh, really?
Biopic of the bassist from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's a strong choice.
It is. It's a very strong choice.
Trevor, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were a band in the 1990s. They had several hit songs.
Got it. But no, Flea just simply because like I think it's an animated feature frontrunner. I think it's a documentary frontrunner, and I think it's an international feature frontrunner. Like I think it's definitely nominated for all three. Even if it just wins two of those, like if it manages to win all three, like if the Academy likes a movie enough to give it 3 Oscar wins, I think it's very hard to deny it a Best Picture nomination.
That's true.
Right.
So
That's a hundred.
it'll be tricky, but yeah, Nick, there are some decent nominees in there. I mean, Dune, No Time to Die, like Shang-Chi and Black Widow weren't terrible. The Suicide Squad was pretty good. Like there's some good movies in there. But then like He's All That and Tom and Jerry and yeah. Okay. Horror movie bracket. I actually made a bracket.
Oh, cool. Here, hold on. Do
Yeah.
you need to be able to share your screen? Can you do that?
I have shared it. You can just bring it in.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Oh, look at that.
All right. Is it up?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, how I decided to do this was the 2010s would get 2 submissions, which were Get Out and Mitsumar. I mostly did this based on Letterboxd popularity. So, Mitsumar and Get Out were the 2010s representation. The 2000s representation is American Psycho and Requiem for a Dream. The 90s representation was Scream and The Silence of the Lambs. The 80s representation is The Shining and The Thing. The 70s representation, Alien and Jaws. The 60s representation was Psycho. And what else did I put in for the 60s? Rosemary's Baby. Then the 2020s would get one, which was The Invisible Man. Classics, which is 50s and prior, would get one, Frankenstein. And then there were 2 wild cards, The Exorcist and Halloween. Both of those the original films from 1978 and 1970.
Ooh.
So, and then I just randomized them. So the seeding doesn't matter at all. I will leave this up to Dan and Mara because I have not seen all of these. Horror is not my most well-versed genre. But you guys can deliberate. I will chime in if we need a tiebreaker, and also the chat can chime in for a tiebreaker. But kicking off, we have Scream and Requiem for a Dream.
That's odd because I would put Requiem for a Dream in a lot of categories, but horror would not be one of them.
Okay.
It's
I can absolutely replace it.
Great movie, but if it's a horror movie bracket, I think I've got to go with Scream. If it were just an overall movie bracket, that would be a very interesting choice. But I feel like Scream is the stronger horror movie.
I agree. I mean, part of it is like Requiem for a Dream, really great, but part of it is also what Scream did for the genre. Like, there have been plenty of really excellent like character studies showing the downfall of people, and that's not diminishing what Requiem for a Dream did. But Scream, I mean, again, like the prototypical version was New Nightmare, but Scream improved upon it vastly, and I think is just so singular in exactly how smart it is.
So we're going with Scream?
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Jaws versus The Shining.
No, this is not nice.
Oh, dear. Well, this is something.
I love The Shining, but I think Jaws is overall the stronger movie. Yeah, I'd have to go Jaws.
See, now I'll say this. If this were Dr. Sleep, this would be a very tough choice, but because I do like The Shining, I love it, but I kind of agree with Dan. And then again, part of it is also legacy and part of it is also adaptation. I think the changes made to Jaws when it was adapted were useful changes. The things they cut were useful to be cut. And I think that some of the stuff they cut out of The Shining that was then put back in for Dr. Sleep, if it had been in The Shining, I think some of the stuff they cut was too useful. And I think cutting it was a bad idea. So I agree.
So we're going with Jaws?
Jaws.
All right. I have no clue where it says. It says start. It says I have to start bracket.
Do you just click Scream? Does that advance it if you just click it?
No, if I go right here, it says to report scores and edit. You have to start the tournament, and I don't see where it says start the tournament. I don't know. Maybe I need to create an account. I don't know. We can just remember.
Side of it?
I have no clue. I think we can remember that that's Scream and then that's Jaws. So we have Psycho versus Rosemary's Baby.
Boy, this doesn't get any easier. What do you think, Mara?
This is really tough. I mean, honestly, I think I'm leaning Psycho because, I mean, it was bold. It killed what you thought was the protagonist, like, and also just the Norman Bates reveal. Um,
Oh,
such great
there it was.
iconography.
I think that this is an ad. 2 easy steps. Click start now. Add Protecto for Chrome.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I doubt
This
I
is
should
weird.
click that. I have no clue. Should I stop
I
here?
don't
You
know.
guys can talk about Psycho and Rosemary's Baby. I will stop sharing and try and figure this out.
fair enough.
Okay, here I'm gonna. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning. I mean, again, there's also the iconography of it. Plus, it gave us our first flushing toilet. Like, what's not to love about toilets?
It's true. Everyone loves toilets. Yeah, I like Rosemary's Baby, but I love Psycho. And
I know, right?
yeah. Plus the filmmaker angle. I'll go Psycho.
Same.
All right. So then next was The Invisible Man versus Mitsumar.
Wait, which Invisible Man was this? This was the new one, right?
The new one.
New one, yes.
I've got to say, this would have been really difficult if it was Ari Aster's other movie, which would have been my pick from the 2010s. But I like Midsommar, but I love Invisible Man. That's such an effective thriller. So my vote would be with The Invisible Man.
I mean, I don't even think you need to ask me, Dan. That was my favorite movie that year.
Yeah.
So well done. Like, he very clearly, even as a male filmmaker, must have known someone or been close to someone or consulted with someone who was a survivor of domestic violence and like psychological and emotional abuse, because that movie is vivid and accurate and just so it wove in, like it really enhanced the original so well because it modernized it. It cultivated technology that could feasibly, again, like elevated reality exist, and a compelling reason to follow our protagonist and to care about her. And it's not really a happy ending, which I love. Because spoiler alert, her sister's still very dead. But yeah, I love that movie. It's going to be hard for me to vote against it, and I'm sure it'll probably end up having to happen at some point. But for now, full steam ahead.
All right. I think I figured it out. I just need a minute to get it pulled back up. But
Sure.
the matchup is Get Out versus Alien.
Oh no.
Yes, this could be a finals match.
Okay, let's just talk it out, like without starting to lean in a way. I mean, they're very similar in the sense that they prey on psychology more so than they prey on like jump scariness, at least for the beginning, until they're building tension the entire time. In a way, they're both sort of bottle stories. I mean, obviously Alien much more claustrophobic, but like Get Out happens primarily within the confines of that home.
Yeah. I mean,
they both have great performances.
True. You could maybe make the argument that Get Out is more of a horror film than Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Alien's kind of a hybrid. You could make that argument. This is really difficult. I think I might have to go Get Out, but it's very, very hard.
Yeah,
I just respect what Jordan Peele was able to layer into that film, and even stuff that I've talked about many, many times I did not really catch on to the first time I saw the movie, and then on repeat and understood really how deep that movie goes. I think that's really impressive.
I agree. I think, like, if this were just a bracket, like not necessarily like trying to accommodate a theme, I think it would still be difficult. But yeah, I think that for this one, Get Out is the superior choice.
Yeah. So I think we're going
all
Get
right. Out. Almost to the point where we got this all back up and running. But then we have 1931's Frankenstein versus The Thing.
Ooh.
This is Carpenter's The Thing, right?
Yes. From
Okay.
1982. Yes.
I respect Frankenstein for its groundbreaking nature, but I think The Thing is a more effective horror film.
Oh yeah. Plus that movie has stuff to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
as people have heard many times, I could talk about The Thing and my Thing theories for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And the practical effects work in it is just fantastic.
Yeah. So we're going with The Thing.
From The Thing.
Yep.
All right. And then we have. This is only going to get harder, guys.
I know.
We have Halloween, 1978 Halloween versus The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna lay my cards on the table here.
All right.
I know that The Silence of the Lambs is perhaps more accurately categorized as a thriller, but and I love Halloween, love it so much. But I think I'm going to put my vote towards The Silence of the Lambs because it accomplished exactly what it set out to do. Again, really good adaptation. I mean, Jodie Foster is phenomenal. Anthony Hopkins phenomenal. But like that was one of the first movies, especially like big movies, that hit the whole thing on the head where it's like it's the house but not the house, and that like pulse pounding but like slow and like simmering, her in the dark, him with the NVGs on, like reaching out for her. Like it's just there's so much that they're doing with so little, and I gotta go there. But I'd be curious to know if you disagree, Dan.
I mean, I feel like if this were a movie bracket, I would probably go with Silence of the Lambs, but I'm one of the ones that feels like it has horror elements, but it could be more readily classified as a drama or a thriller rather than a horror
mean, you're
film.
right.
It's one of those border movies, kind of like Ghostbusters. Is Ghostbusters a comedy movie or is it a horror movie? It's both, but I think it belongs more to the comedy genre. So I think we're going to split for the first time. I would actually go with Halloween.
All right. Well, Trevor, you're a tiebreaker.
I'm the tiebreaker. And I do have the bracket pulled back up.
Okay.
If you want to pull that up.
Yes.
I think I have everything correct that you guys selected.
Yay!
We got Scream, Jaws, Psycho, Invisible Man, Get Out of the Thing.
Go.
I will be selecting The Silence of the Lambs here. As we heard on a previous show, I thought that Halloween was good, just not great. I think The Silence of the Lambs is a just phenomenal movie. I mean, I would call it a horror movie. It is borderline, but I would call it a horror movie. And I do think also like that for a horror movie to win Best Picture, if we are calling it a horror movie, is very, very impressive. And it's such an accomplishment for the genre. So even just looking at it from a genre perspective, you could say like, yes, Halloween did a lot for the genre, but Silence of the Lambs bringing it awards attention, I think is really big. So I will be moving Silence of the Lambs through. Then the last matchup of round one, The Exorcist versus American Psycho.
American Psycho is another one of those. I would kind of genre qualm with both of the picks for the 2000s because again, I wouldn't pick American Psycho as a horror movie necessarily. It's a
The
dark.
2000s were weak for horror.
They were. That's true.
I had their reach.
I would go with The Exorcist. Fairly easily. Yeah,
I agree.
I would agree with you guys as well on that one. All right, so we have our quarterfinal matchups. Kicking off, Scream versus Jaws.
Jeez Louise. It's going to get harder here as we sort of get into genre questions, but I think that Jaws still has enough of the horror credentials for me to advance it over Scream. So I'm going to go Jaws.
Brandy says, I feel like since you were all Dan, that Dan's pick should win outright.
I agree, Brandy.
This is so tough. Oh, this is really tough. I think, okay, so Scream has the thing where, like, for the first time in a long time, like, it was the there's two killers thing, and it was so unexpected, and they had such great and excellent red herrings. But Jaws unintentionally withheld, and that is something that is severely lacking in a lot of horror movies, creature features, anything like that. And Scream is the more pure horror movie, but I also think that, I mean, Jaws makes you feel fear, absolutely. And I mean, that scene talking about the USS Indianapolis, I know that it can be a splitting hairs genre-wise, but the superior film, even if it's not pure horror, is definitely Jaws.
So we're advancing Jaws.
Yes.
Interesting. My personal pick would have been Scream on that one.
It's tough. I mean, because if we really wanted to split hairs and go like specifically genre, then yeah, I mean, of course, it would pretty much have to be Scream because it is a straight up like slasher horror movie. But
yeah,
it's going to get more difficult after this for me. Just be aware.
Yeah. Okay. Psycho versus The Invisible Man.
I can't not vote for The Invisible Man. And if it doesn't make it through because you two overrule it, I am not upset, but I can't not vote for it, even with as amazing and groundbreaking as Psycho is.
I mean, they're both great movies. I think that Psycho, though, still has some of the most horrifying moments of all time. It defined a lot of the genre in many ways, and it's a great movie. It's not just influential. It's a great movie. Anthony Perkins is so good in that movie. You have two great lead performances, Elizabeth Moss in Invisible Man, Anthony Perkins in Psycho. The tension still works in the movie. I mean, it's 61 years old, believe it or not, at this point, and it still works as a thriller. Oh, it's hard for me, but I have to go Psycho.
Okay. So The Invisible Man is like, it's a phenomenal horror movie. Like, it's definitely one of the best horror movies in the past decade. But I can't deny, like, Alfred Hitchcock is just a master of filmmaking, and Psycho was so groundbreaking, not only for horror movies, but just for film in general. It's still, I think, one of the greatest movies ever made and one of the most important movies ever made to the scope of film canon. So I will be voting through Psycho.
And I'm not even upset about that. Again, it's a fantastic movie. That's just a where it hits you personally kind of a choice.
Yeah. All right, Get Out and The Thing.
Ooh. I mean, if we're going by the horror of it all, I think The Thing is a better horror movie.
Hey, buddy.
I gotta go The Thing. If it was overall, again, I think I'd probably go with Get Out, but in a horror movie bracket, I think I gotta go The Thing.
It's very tough. I mean, it sucks because I know we were splitting genre hairs with Jaws. So part of me is like, do we split genre hairs with Get Out? But The Thing has amazing practical effects. Admittedly, it is addressing very, very, very different issues, but it still does have some things to say. So it's not just like purely an entertainment value movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea of fear and distrust amongst people that you know and are supposed to rely on. Oh, this is very, very tough. I think I am going to go with The Thing, but I hate having to, but I kind of think that if it sucks, like split genre hairs for Jaws, but don't do it for Get Out. But I think that The Thing stands on its own as one of the like pinnacles of what you can actually do with practical effects.
Yeah.
Interesting. My vote would have been Get Out. Get Out is my personal favorite horror movie of all time. So,
sorry, Trevor.
Nah, that's fine.
You eliminated my personal favorite horror movie of all time in the first round, so that's how I feel.
That's fair. Wait, what? Oh, Halloween.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's
it. Mara, what's your favorite horror movie of all time?
Ooh, favorite horror movie of all time. Oh, that's tough. I mean, because I love The Sounds of the Lambs. That would be up there. But again, it's not pure horror. It's kind of more of a thriller. That's so tough. Because favorite doesn't have to mean best.
Yeah.
I mean, today's choice, just from today, Mara, because like I think that my favorites vary widely based on like when you're actually talking about it. But I'm gonna say The Invisible Man as of today because that's the one that's like in the front of my brain right now. It's the one that we're talking about, and I love like the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I love the original Halloween. I love Scream. There's so many great movies, but that one just it hits me exactly where it needs to. I was its target audience.
Yeah, I love Scream as well. Let's see. Hitman Hudson donated $2. The Sounds of the Lambs has some extremely transphobic elements, which is frustrating because it's such a well-made film otherwise.
Well, okay. I have a problem with that. Sorry, hold on. I was going to eat the ice, but now I can't. So they go specifically out of their way to mention that he is not actually trans. He is a person that, like, again, I'm not trying to split hairs because it's still not how portraying someone as a person that does bad things, choosing whether or not you're going to try to say that there's a correlation between who or what that person is influences them to do bad things is a really dangerous correlation to make for any kind of person ever. But like the movie does go out of its way to specify that, and I do think that that is a bit of a like I understand why people could be very triggered by that, but I just find that it's a bit of an inaccurate representation of what that movie is actually saying. I mean, I'm sure I'm not saying it correctly, Dan, but like we've had this discussion.
Yeah. No, it's tough because you don't want to tell people, how to feel, but it's weird because the movie it's weird.
Yep. Speaking of Silence of the Lambs, it's going up against The Exorcist for the final spot in the semifinals.
I'll go. I'm picking The Exorcist. It's a chilling film.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I love Silence of the Lambs so much, but I mean, The Exorcist, it just has so much, so much going on.
It's funny.
Go
ahead. Sorry, hon.
Oh no, I was going to say, and Tubular Bells. I mean, sad that it wasn't original music, so it couldn't get nominated for score. But like, man, just what a great atmosphere.
It's funny too. We watched it for I think a commentary last year or this year. I don't remember which. And it was a massive hit. I think it's still Adjusted for Inflation, one of the 10 highest grossing films of all time. But we talked about the fact that I don't know if it came out today, if people would be patient enough for it because it's such a slow build, and I think people would be like, oh, "Come on, what?" And it's like kind of like they were with Godzilla, and it's like, sometimes it's worth it. Antlers is like that. It's a slow build, but then it's worth it once you get to the end.
Yeah.
Also interesting. Like I think that these two movies are like the two biggest Oscar players for horror ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys are going with The Exorcist?
Yeah.
So it's also crazy. The semifinals is completely made up of movies 1982 and before.
Wow, look at that. It's almost like anyway.
All classics.
If Hereditary were included, it might be a different story, but it wasn't, so.
Well, I'm sorry. I went with the two most popular on Letterboxd. Hereditary was number 3. It just missed the cut.
That's fine.
Another one that just missed the cut was The Lighthouse.
Really?
It's another one I would not categorize as a horror film.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of random question, but who do you think is the best of like the modern horror directors out of Ari Aster, Jordan Peele, and Robert Eggers? Because I think they're all very similar as far as the past 5 to 10 years, kind of bringing a new type of horror film.
Probably. For me, it'd be Aster with Jordan Peele like a centimeter behind.
Yeah.
Eggers, I respect his work, but it's a sort of different vibe that doesn't necessarily resonate with me. I understand why so many people think his films are some of the best modern horror movies, but it just doesn't quite necessarily always ring true with me. But I'm sure some people say the same thing about Ari Aster. So yeah, for me it would be a virtual tie between Ari Aster and Jordan Peele, but I'd give the edge to Aster.
Mara, do you have a personal preference?
I kind of agree, and I think also again part of that just is about how much Dan and we both just have a fanatical love and appreciation for Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all really close for me. I'd probably go with Jordan Peele, but I do really love Robert Eggers' work and Ari Aster. But for me, it'd probably go Peele, Eggers, and then Aster, but all of them like very, very close up at the top. It's really hard for me to pick between those three because they're all phenomenal. All right, final four here. Jaws versus Psycho.
See, I feel like with this matchup, I'm leaning Psycho. Dan, what about you?
Oh, this is so hard. I'd have to go Jaws.
All right. I'll be brief. I'm sorry, Dan. I gotta go with Psycho.
That's fine. I understand.
I love Alfred Hitchcock's work so much. So Psycho's on to the finals, and we'll face the winner of The Thing versus The Exorcist.
Ooh, boy.
I think I'm leaning one way.
I'm going with The Exorcist.
That's
it's just very primal. Leaning. It's a very primal movie. And the thing is as well, at this point it's really just splitting hairs, but today I say The Exorcist. Tomorrow I might say The Thing, but today I'm saying The Exorcist.
All right. We have our finals. The Exorcist versus Psycho. This is it, everybody. The match we all thought it would be.
I got to go with the one that still creeps me out the most. The creep factor, what I think of, and honestly, just what sort of freaks me out in general. Just the idea of losing autonomy and being invaded by this malevolent thing that just takes over your being and you hurt the ones that you love. It's just so horrific. I'd have to go with The Exorcist.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very different. For me, the slasher is always the much more fear-inducing thing because it's realistic. Like, people sadly commit crimes and they hurt people all the time in real life. So that preys more on what would be my real life fear. However, I think that the Linda Blair performance as a young actor, even with the voice being dubbed, and I mean Ellen Burstyn, like, she literally injured herself permanently making that movie. It's so good, and I do love how depressing it is at the end in a way. There's just a lot going on. Pazuzu is also just like my favorite dessert at BJ's. Not correlated, just something to mention. For those people that are familiar with the BJ's franchise. Yeah, I mean, the pea soup, the cross situation, what's happening with that. Lots of really off-putting things. And I mean, it does challenge people because preying on the idea that these things being based in religion, it's very divisive. But I mean, it works for me, and maybe that's because I don't have any attachment to Christianity, but I like the idea that it like uses these concepts and creates this really entertaining masterpiece of just like creep, and the score is just so good. and I love Psycho. It hurts me to do it, but I think I'm going to vote for The Exorcist.
It would have been unanimous. My pick was also The Exorcist. The Exorcist wins the horror movie bracket.
What do you
Psycho
know?
getting second, then Jaws and The Thing being our semifinalist. Solid bracket.
Yay.
Solid bracket. Good job, everybody. All right, I believe we also hit our $60 goal, which means that we're going to play the Halloween game.
Yay! Dan, I'm going to need your help.
Okay. Which one is this?
So how this is going to work is I am going to read a Letterboxd review. From one of the installments in the Halloween franchise. So there's 12 films in here. Halloween 1 through 6, H2O, Resurrection, the 2 Rob Zombies, and then the 2 modern David Gordon Green ones. I will read you a review and what the star rating was of the movie. Then you have to try and match it to the Halloween movie it is referring to. So there will only be one for each movie, so you can go back and change them later if you would like. But we'll see how many you get right.
All right.
And the chat can play along and help out with you guys. Are you ready?
Love it.
Yes.
All right, kicking off. We have 5 stars, Trauma Lingers. You guys feel free to write these down so that way you can reference them later.
Hang on.
Hold on, Dan. Will you take some notes?
The strategic game. Trauma Lingers.
A couple of different ones. Sorry.
5 stars.
Oh, come on. Where's that marker? Okay.
What are you guys thinking? Let's see. Can put donate $10. Next time you do this, can we play along? Maybe post it to Twitter, maybe so we can fill the bracket before the show. That's fun.
Yeah.
That could be something fun where maybe the audience is our tiebreaker.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. 5 stars. Trauma Lingers.
Yes.
Okay.
So any immediate thoughts?
I feel like it could be 2018's Halloween or Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 that I think it could be.
So then, 1 star. Fair play to Paul Rudd for coming back from this.
Well, that one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
That's the Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to lock that in?
Yeah.
It was actually 2021's Halloween Kills. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are correct. So that's 1 off the board.
Great.
You have 1 match. You swiped left. All right.
You shouldn't know what that means, Trevor.
I was honestly just guessing between left and right. I'm lucky I got it.
I honestly don't know because I've never had Tinder, but is that right?
I think so, right? It's swipe
I don't
left
know.
if you. I don't know. All right. 5 stars. Jamie Lee Curtis. Michael Myers. Walking as slow as possible after. Why are you running?
Okay, interesting.
I mean, I feel like that's the original.
Yeah, that's where I'm edging towards.
Do we want to roll the dice and?
No, let's just keep it there for now, and then let's hear what the rest is.
Okay, that's true. Good call.
All right. Our next one is 3 stars. The idiot in front of me took out his phone and rated this 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd halfway through the world premiere of this movie. It's pretty good, by the way.
All right. So this really narrows it down to 2, which would be 2018
and then Halloween Kills.
I will say, given the current state of things, I don't know if they would have had a public world premiere on that scale for the 2021 Halloween Kills. So I'm not quite ready to lock it in yet, but I think this is obviously either 2018 or Kills.
I agree.
All right.
I think it's 2018 though, so why don't we pencil it in but not lock it in?
Exactly.
All right. Next up. Okay. This one's pretty obvious. There's a couple obvious ones in here.
Well, sure.
1 star. Look, if Buster Rhymes actually had a website called Dangertainment, I'd subscribe.
Yep.
This is Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah, it
Would
is.
you like to lock that in?
Yes.
Yes.
Finally.
Easy correct. So you have Resurrection and Curse of Michael Myers off the board.
All right, that's good. I thought those might be two of the trickier ones, so that's okay.
All right. And you guys have 3 that you guys haven't locked in, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Next up, 2.5 stars. This is a piece of poop, but it's like a golden poop.
Well, that could
Okay. I feel like that could honestly be like Halloween 2 or something.
be, yeah.
Maybe, but I don't want to lock that in yet.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in that one.
Oh, you know
Also,
what?
this-
That could actually maybe be Season of the Witch too.
I was thinking that could
actually.
be 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think I'm on a pencil in 3.
Just briefly, so since Kenput donated $10, that means that we are 10 away from doing our Edgar Wright letterbox game and 30 away from doing the watch along of Final Destination.
Ooh.
All right. Next up, so we're halfway through the reviews here, with 4 still unlocked. 3.5 stars. Dr. Loomis, you are so bad at your job.
This could be any of the. This could be obviously Halloween 1, 2, 4, Revenge, or Rob Zombie, the first 2 zombies. So that's any number, or yeah. I think we have to put a pin in that.
So Dr. Loomis is bad at his
Yeah,
job.
I want to put him in that.
Is Dr. Loomis bad at his job?
He's not the best.
I think bureaucracy keeps him from affecting greater change to protect people from Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. You okay?
Yeah, my back just hurts.
Sure. Okay. This one's pretty obvious. 2.5 stars. Shout out Josh Hartnett for managing to be the worst thing in a Halloween sequel that ends with a Creed song.
Interesting.
well,
So
that's-
this is obviously Halloween H2O. That's going to help us narrow things down later.
Mm-hmm. So I threw in
Sure
about
will.
half of them are pretty obvious and just fun. The other half are a bit tricky to figure out. All right. Next up. 3.5. Those steely blues and shimmering oranges add up to the ultimate in cozy comfort on an overcast October afternoon.
Okay, I don't know.
Steely Blues and what?
Shimmering oranges.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to this.
All right. Next up. 1 star. This is mostly just Donald Pleasant screaming at a small child.
I think that would have to be the return of Michael Myers, right? Because that's little Jamie,
Yeah,
the little girl. So you want to lock in Return of Michael Myers?
I think so.
We're going to say this is the return of Michael Myers.
You would be incorrect.
Dang it.
Okay.
I'll give you 3 strikes throughout the whole game. So there's strike number 1.
Okay.
But then even if you hit 3 strikes, then like you can still keep playing.
Well, then wouldn't it have to be then the Revenge of Michael Myers? I mean, I don't know what other. It'd be the last one because it's not. I mean, he wasn't really screaming at kids that much in the first 2. So
No,
it'd have
not
to be the
really.
Revenge of Michael Myers, right?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't.
Should we risk
I
a
don't
second
know, though.
strike? We're not going to do anything yet.
Okay. But you do know now that that is not Halloween 4, of course.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I have 2 left to read.
Okay.
2.5 stars. Michael may be a murderer, but at least he wears his mask over his nose.
So that's
Okay,
got
well,
to be
that's-
Kills, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's Halloween Kills.
You locking that in?
Yes.
That would be correct.
Okay.
All right. Then we have our last one here. 1 star. You know how sometimes hours after you had a very pleasant and delicious meal, you burp and you can taste the faint aromas of that meal mixed with the unpleasantness of stomach gases? Yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
Okay, that could be any of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking that could be Halloween 2. The original Halloween 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's one thing we can do. Because we know which one is Halloween Kills, we can take the one about the world premiere,
Yeah, and confirm
and
that
say
it's
that's
Halloween
Halloween 2018. So the one
Yeah.
about the guy pulling up the phone, that's definitely
Yeah.
going to be 2018.
You would be correct.
So
All
that
right, so
actually,
I believe you have 5 that you have correct now, right?
yes, that's correct.
5. So you still have 7 that you have to try and figure out.
All right. So we have what left? We have obviously 78. We have Halloween 2. We have Season of the Witch. We have Return of Michael Myers. We have Revenge of Michael Myers. We have Zombie Halloween 06. Zombie Halloween 2.
Oh, it was 2007.
It's 7.
Oh, sorry. Zombie Halloween 2007.
And then the
Halloween
sequel.
2. And
So you just have the first
That's it.
5 and then 2 zombies.
yeah, okay. So I think the Donald Pleasant screaming one has to be the Revenge of Michael Myers. I don't know what other movie it could be. If it's not the Return of Michael Myers, then I think it's got to be the Revenge of Michael Myers, right?
I think so. I mean,
I think we
unless
take a
for some
risk.
reason people think he screams enough in the first movie, even though he doesn't really scream at anybody.
Especially not at children. I think we should take a risk and say that that's the Revenge of Michael Myers.
I mean, I
Lock it
guess. I
in.
mean, I know he's like yelling, like, get your ass away from the house, or whispering it, but it's not yelling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it's the Revenge. That's the Revenge of Michael Myers.
You would be correct.
All
Okay.
right, good.
Also, did you write down the ratings of the movies?
Well, 5 stars. Trauma lingers. That makes me think that it's got to be Halloween 78. What other one of these movies would be a 5-star movie?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, it doesn't really make any sense, though, because
Nice, Brian.
who was traumatized for it to linger in that movie, like in the movie?
Yeah.
Like nobody was traumatized, and then we're visiting them years later. That's the thing that's confusing about it.
Okay. Well, we know that there's one because it says there's one where Jamie Lee Curtis screams
Mhm.
and Michael walks slowly. So that means that one has to be either the original or Halloween 2 because there's only 2 left with Jamie Lee Curtis in them.
Yep. How many stars was that one?
Did that have a
What?
star rating, Trevor? Read the second
Jamie
one
Lee-
about Jamie Lee Curtis screaming.
The one about Jamie Lee Curtis screaming has 5 stars.
I think that's the original because
I think-
2 he
I
was
think
in the
that's the original.
hospital. All right, so that's the original. We're gonna say that the one of Jamie Lee Curtis screams, Michael Myers walks slowly, is a review of the original 1978 Halloween.
That would be correct.
Okay, all right, we're making progress here.
So that means that your remaining ones, would you like me to repeat your remaining ones?
So we have the 5 stars, Trauma Lingers,
Yeah.
which to me now thinks it's somebody who loved Rob Zombie's Halloween, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We have the Poop, but Golden Poop. We have Dr. Loomis is so bad at his job, and we have the Steely Blues and Shimmering Oranges one.
And
I
then
wonder
you
if
also
that's
have
Season of the
about
Witch.
You also have the ones about burps and stomach gases. And just
Right.
briefly, the stars on the rest of these. The Dr. Loomis is so bad at this job is 3.5. The piece of poop but golden poop is 2.5. The steely blues and shimmering oranges is 3.5. And then the burping with stomach gases is one. And then the trauma lingers, like you said, is 5.
Okay. I think the trauma lingers one has got to be Zombies 2007 Halloween. Maybe? I don't know.
I mean, unless for some weird reason it was his sequel.
Yeah, that's true.
Although that one's way worse than the first one.
Yeah. Well, there's one that says Dr. Loomis is so
Yeah.
bad at his job, which has to be either, well, it could be Return of Michael Myers. It could be Halloween 2, either Halloween 2 or Halloween 2007. No, these
Oh
are
yeah, that's right. I forgot. Ooh. Okay, well, why don't we talk about? Why don't we try to think about which one of these is going to be Halloween 3? Because I think that might be an easy one to pin down.
It's not going to be Trauma Lingers, I don't think.
No, not at all.
And it's obviously not Dr. Loomis is so bad at his job.
Nope. It's not a 5-star review, that's for sure.
And that would mean it's either the poop but golden poop, the steely blues and shimmering oranges, or the thing about the stomach acids. Although that to me sounds like a Halloween sequel, not because Halloween 3 isn't anything like
No.
any of the other ones. So that's not 3. So that means 3 is either the poop but golden poop or the thing about steely blues and shimmering oranges. I think it might be the poop but golden poop one. I know that was your instinct as well.
Well, it was, but I was also thinking like the blues and oranges for some reason stood out to me.
Can you repeat that one for us, Trevor?
The blues and oranges.
Yeah.
So it's 3.5 stars. Those steely blues and shimmering oranges add up to the ultimate in cozy comfort on an overcast October afternoon.
I don't know. I was just trying to think if like Silver Shamrock had any connection to any of that.
Yeah. I'm willing to risk on the golden poop thing being Halloween 3.
Okay.
We're going to say that it's poop but golden poop review is for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
You'd be correct.
Yeah.
Wow, good job, Dan.
So that means remaining reviews are the blues and oranges with 3.5. The 3.5 Dr. Loomis, you are so bad at your job. The 1 star about stomach acids and burps, and then 5 stars trauma lingers.
I think Halloween 2, Zombies Halloween 2 might be the stomach acid one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't think that the second Halloween was that bad, but I've heard that maybe Zombies Halloween 2 is not as good as the first to some people.
Yeah. Sure, if that's what you think.
I'm going to say the stomach acid one is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Stomach acids is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. You would be incorrect.
Incorrect. All right, strike 2. Well, then I think it would be the original Halloween 2.
Okay.
We're going to say the stomach acid one is the original Halloween 2.
That would also be incorrect.
Shit. Well, that's 3 strikes. Sorry, hon.
That's okay.
Would you guys like to try and finish the remaining ones out, or would you like to hear them?
I don't know. I don't have a solid lead on any of these, so we want to just hear what they are.
Sure.
Let's just hear what they are.
Okay. And also, great job. You guys had some phenomenal reasoning to get down to 8.
Thank
You're
you.
really, really good. So, Dr. Loomis, you were so bad at your job. 3.5 stars was Halloween 2, 1981. Steely Blues and Simmering Oranges, 3.5 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
All right.
Stomach Acids and Burps was Halloween 07.
Okay.
And 5 stars, Trauma Lingers was Halloween 2.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
of
person
the-
that has a very particular taste.
Yeah.
All of the top reviews of Halloween 2 are 5 stars or 4.5 stars, talking about its treatment of PTSD and how much they love it.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
So-
Everyone has different takeaways.
Yeah.
That's true.
But well done, everybody. Well done. Mara says we're currently sitting at $73, which means that 7 more and we get to play an Edgar Wright game, and just 27 more and we get to watch Final Destination.
What's your out though? What's your your cutoff?
I'm good to go for a while.
Okay.
I
I do have a kind of a full dance card, so I will need to duck out at some point fairly soon.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we have been going for almost 2.5 hours already, so I would say that, I mean, people have been incredibly generous, and
Absolutely.
our last donation came in over 20 minutes ago. So, I mean, if we want, we can wind down, and we can always save our Edgar Wright game, because Last Night in Soho is going to be a news topic here for the next couple of weeks. And you know what? We can always try for a watch along again in the future. I mean, maybe because people are going to be doing Halloween festivities, perhaps they are going to get their sleep tonight, so that way they can go wreak havoc tomorrow.
I would encourage against wreaking havoc, but festivities are fun.
Hey, Havoc, the X-Man.
The X-Men, yeah. Isn't that Cyclops' brother? Alex?
It
Alex
sure
Summers?
is.
It is.
Yeah. But thank you so much to everybody who's watching, and thank you so much to everybody who's so generous in getting us to some of those goals. Really,
yes,
really.
And this was fun though, categorizing the movies based on one of their reviews and the star ratings in a franchise, because that could be really fun, like for maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, in general in the future, because it's another franchise Dan and I are both very familiar with. Another one that could be fun is Star Trek also, Dan.
Yeah, Star Trek would be great.
Garth, yeah, so he said he gave it a half star and said, don't watch this, just don't. Call people you love and chat with them for a couple hours instead. Don't waste your time on this.
That's a good
snarky. I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. But
how could I have forgotten to do this? My bad.
Come on, Mara. You're doing terrible at Jesus. Just hashtag cancel Mara. Okay, never mind. She threw out the bus, baby. We're good.
By the way, I'd also like to point out that those are not actually garters. They're called they're like sock stays. I forget what they're called precisely, but they're meant to keep a gentleman's socks pulled up.
It still doesn't look good.
Still weird.
No, I agree. I just know that someone was like, why is the baby wearing garters? And it's like,
oh yeah,
they're kind of like garters for guys, but they're just for their socks.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. I feel like I'll get arrested for looking at that image one more time.
Yes, as will we all.
All right. Well,
awesome.
Thank you everybody so much.
I love that. Yes. Thank you again so much, everybody.
Thanks,
this was
everyone.
so fun. I love that the Dan Roll cosplay was 100% Trevor's idea. I just bandwagoned on because it's easy, because I already owned black glasses, a hat.
And I'm me.
You are you. And I have a totally sleepy kitty. I'm pretty sure that one of my favorite games is My Cat Liquid, which is how sleepy is he? And when I pick him up, does he just like become liquid inside of a little cat skin?
I'm pretty sure he's liquid right now.
I think he's pretty liquid. But they deserve a special TREAT for putting up with costuming and whatnot. So, well, hey, Dan, Garth did just ask a question. So it's up to you.
I mean, it's up to you guys. I do need to duck out soon, so if we do the Edgar Wright game, it would have to be pretty quick.
I think we could do it pretty quick.
Okay.
Garth, if
Let's put our faith in Garth, and why don't we just get started?
Okay, sounds good. All right.
And then after that, yeah, I think we will probably wrap up though.
We will
Plus, I'm
probably-
going to help Dan because he's pretty busy.
All right, so we got 7 Edgar Wright movies: Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Baby Driver, The Sparks Brothers, and Last Night in Soho. So I will give you 3 reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to order them on what you think is the positive one, the mixed one, and the negative one.
Okay.
So we'll kick off with Shaun of the Dead. This is what every other zombie comedy ever is missing. A scene where the characters beat a zombie to death with pool sticks in sync to Queen's Don't Stop Me Now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sean having self-esteem issues and
Uh-oh.
self-doubt instead of
Uh-oh.
and I loved it just as much.
We lost you a little bit, yeah.
Oh, am I back?
You're back now.
Yes. Could you start again with
Okay.
that second review though?
The second one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sean having self-esteem issues and self-doubt instead of fighting zombies in the middle of a zombie attack is peak relatability.
Okay.
Okay.
Just rewatched it with my pops. He fell asleep, but I loved it just as much as the second time. Such a goofy ride. Not sure how you can't smile while watching this.
Okay. I think the pool cue one is from a negative review of the movie. I think that was like
Yep.
a very sarcastic review. I think that the last review is the positive one, and I think that the middle one is the mixed one.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting. 0 out of 3 struck out there.
Wow.
The positive one was the pool cue one. The negative one was the Sean having self-esteem issues.
Wow.
And the mixed one was the just rewatched it with my pops.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, yeah.
I guess they were being sarcastic about what is actually kind of a nice character trait.
Yeah. All right. Hot Fuzz. Nick Frost watching in Point Break is a little too close to home.
Okay.
Why is Fuzz hot?
Okay.
Line delivery was invented when Olivia Colman went. Nothing like a little bit of girl on girl.
I think the middle one is the negative one. What do you think?
I agree. I think the last one is the mixed one, and I think the first one is the positive one.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Point Break is positive, Olivia
Yes.
Colman is mixed, Fuzz hot is
Yes.
negative?
Yes.
Close. Fuzz hot is negative. They
Yep.
gave it 0.5 stars.
Ooh.
Then the Nick Frost Point Break one was the mix. That was 3.5. And then
Okay.
the Olivia Colman one was a 5 stars.
Okay.
Dang it.
Interesting.
All right. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Mm.
All right. First review. Michael Cera. Second review. Multiple girls finding Michael Cera attractive? Sounds super fake, but okay. Last review.
Okay.
I have special vegan powers.
So
I think
one
those are in
review is
order from
literally
lowest to highest. I think it's the negative, the mixed, and then the positive in that order.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, super close. So you're right. So the one that just said Michael Cera was 1 star. Then the I have special vegan powers was 3 stars. And then the multiple girls finding Michael Cera attractive, they gave it 5 stars.
Wow.
Okay.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah. All right. The World's End. Some of you really think that Rosamund Pike's most iconic cinematic moment is Miss Amy Dunn's super cool girl monologue, and it shows. As if her delivery of the line "Oh crumbs" is in this masterpiece isn't right there.
Okay.
This movie was improvised from start to finish. I am honestly still very mad that Marvel couldn't compromise and forced Edgar Wright to leave Ant-Man.
Ooh. So is that the positive one,
I
or
think that's the negative one.
oh, you think? Oh, that they're just angry about it and that
Yes.
they okay.
I think that's the negative one. I think the one in the middle is the mixed one, and I think the first one is the positive one. So I think it goes positive, mixed, negative.
Okay.
Okay. You were close. So improvised from start to finish was a 0.5 stars.
Ugh.
Oh,
The Rosamund
wow.
Pike one was 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And the Edgar Wright leaving Ant-Man one was 5 stars.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. People are really weird on Letterboxd.
I mean, I kind of thought maybe because if the whole point was that they wanted him to do Ant-Man, that maybe that meant that they really loved the movie. So
Yeah. Nick says he just realized that we're Dan. I mean, you know, it's hard to like the resemblance is so uncanny. Like I don't. All right, a couple left. Baby Driver.
okay.
The Fault in Our Cars.
It's good.
That's good.
It's good.
The Baby Driver doesn't drive a single baby. 0 out of 10.
All right.
And last one, Fast and Furious ripoff.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like Fast and Furious ripoff is the negative one, right?
Yeah. I think the 0 out of 10 one is a I think it's a tactic to throw us off. I think that's the positive one.
Yeah.
And I think the mixed one is The Fault in Our Cars.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So close. So Fast and Furious ripoff is the negative. That's 1 star. And then the Baby Driver doesn't drive a single baby is 3 stars. Fault in Our Cars is 5. You guys are so close.
How is it a Fast and Furious ripoff? Other than like, did they think that Fast and Furious invented the concept of a car chase?
I don't
Well,
know.
here's the other thing too. Did they not recognize that how much practical driving was in Baby Driver? Did they not understand that like that alley sequence was done with a real car and not a computer? Did they not get that?
And there's literally no comparison or parallel between the plot or anything in the movie other than the fact that there are cars involved. What a dummy. Sorry. Continue.
Dan rants. All right, the Sparks Brothers. Review number 1. He really likes Sparks. Review number 2. This movie gave me a crush on a 75-year-old man. Review number 3. Disappointed. No Kanye West.
Okay, please let that be the negative one because if not, I'm gonna lose it. And then please let the crush be the positive one. What do you think?
And then the one about he really likes Sparks is mixed. So mixed, positive, negative.
You guys got it spot on.
Yay!
Yep. Disappointed. No Kanye West was at 0.5 stars. He really likes Sparks was 3 stars, and then it gave me a crush on a 75-year-old man was 4.5.
Awesome.
The real question though, is it Ron or Russ?
Yeah. Very, very true.
Crazy.
Also, we still need to have our formal debate on Timothy Chalamet versus Oscar Isaac. That does need to happen at some point.
It does, yeah. I've got a lot of evidence to support this.
I will gather mine.
They only put one of them naked in a chair in Dune, okay? Boom.
Okay. I can refute that, but we can move on. All right, Last Night in Soho. Also, like, why were you expecting Kanye West in a Sparks documentary?
I don't know.
Who knows?
All right, Last Night in Soho. Worst case scenario, Coraline.
Right. Okay.
I've told you that one before. So I'm supposed to believe a girl from Cornwall who's been to London once can run street to street without using City Mapper?
That's funny. Okay.
And lastly, Edgar Wright goes woke.
Oh God. Okay, so I think that the Edgar Wright goes woke one is actually a funny, very positive review. I think the middle one is the mixed one, and I think the first one is the negative one.
So you're saying Coraline is negative, Girl
Yeah.
from Cornwall is mixed, Edgar Wright goes woke is positive.
Yes.
I don't know. I almost think that the first one is the mixed one and the
Yeah.
second one is the negative one.
You want to flip flop? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I do.
Let's flip flop then.
Should have stuck with Dan's original thought. It
So
Sorry.
close.
Well, here, Dan gets
Yep.
it right. I get it wrong. That's how that'll work.
Yeah, worst case scenario, Coraline was 1.5. So I'm supposed to believe Girl from Cornwall was 3, and then Edgar Wright goes woke was 4.5.
There you go.
This is fun. I like this one too.
This is fun. Yeah.
Letterbox games.
Letterbox,
Yes.
please come over, hang out,
Yeah.
officially
Yeah.
sponsor us. We play lots of games regarding your service. So
We're cool.
And Garth did come through with the $7. He says, "Here's the Edgar Wright amount for the 7 Wright movies."
nice.
Thank you so much, Garth. And
Thank
thank
you,
you again
Garth.
so much, everybody. Let's just run back this outro. Thank you so much, everybody. We really truly appreciate all the generosity for everybody who stuck around and just committed time to watching this show of us just rambling on and doing whatever.
Playing games and putting costumes on cats.
and me yelling about people's opinions on Tom and Jerry. We really do appreciate all of you here. So thank you. And we'll be back next week. And Mara, we did it. We got our regular time. We did Saturday at 7.
Yay. And I don't have any reason, unless, like a sinkhole opens up or something, that we would not be back here next week at the same time, same place. Fingers crossed, no sinkholes. And I hope everyone has a very safe and enjoyable Halloween, however you're choosing to celebrate. Yeah, we're going to be doing what we normally do, which is definitely watching Halloween 1978. We might watch a couple of other movies. We'll be eating some faux nuts, I imagine. And
Yes.
yeah.
Good times.
Absolutely. Good time. Great movie, by the way. Just everybody should go
Sure
check
is.
that out. Safdie
Good
Brothers.
time is great movie.
Like, it shows you exactly why that the guy that they're picking to be a Batman can act, and why an actor is a good person to play a Batman.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, everyone. We will see you next week for another episode of The Basement.